Hello, my dear old friend. I hope you're staying strong, healthy, peaceful at heart, and still full of fire to enjoy the beautiful days that lie ahead. Today, let me share something deeply personal with you. Something we might have never brought up at the dinner table, never spoken of over coffee, and perhaps have even hidden from the one we've shared a bed with for decades. But my dear friend, it's exactly because we keep silent, hold it in, and pretend that everything's fine, that today I want to break that silence. I want to invite you, yes, you watching this video, to sit with me and talk about this honestly, from the heart. You see, many men at our age, 60, 70, even 80, still crave closeness, still want to hold their loved one tight at night, still want to prove that we're still here, still want to feel like a complete man. But reality can be cruel. Sometimes our little buddy won't wake up. Sometimes he gives up halfway. And sometimes he doesn't show up at all. And you know that feeling, don't you? The disappointment, the shame, that hollow frustration of not feeling like yourself anymore, like a man stripped of his manhood. But my dear friend, what if I told you that the real reason might not be because you're old? Maybe it's not that your hormones are broken. Maybe there's something else, a silent destroyer quietly working against you every single day. Every time you sit down at the table. Yes, right there on your plate. What you eat, and just as importantly, what you don't eat, could be the silent killer weakening your blood flow, shrinking your blood vessels, and causing your manhood to surrender before the battle even begins. And here's the truth. Most doctors won't tell you this. Not because it isn't real, but because it's often overlooked or simply too uncomfortable to talk about. But the reality is clear. Something as simple as blood flow is the real key to strong erections, to healthy natural testosterone, and to the confidence you thought you'd lost forever. So today, I want to share this with you, not with complicated charts or confusing medical terms, but through real stories, real solutions, things you can start doing today from your kitchen, from your backyard, and from your own body. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal one final secret, a golden key that most men have never even heard of, but could change everything: your morning energy, your nighttime warmth, even the proud smile of the woman who hasn't looked at you that way in years. So, whatever you do, don't miss it. But before we dive into the most important part of this video, I want to ask two small favors from you, my dear friend. First, please hit the subscribe button for the Senior Vitality channel and turn on the bell icon. That way, you won't miss any of the valuable health secrets we share every single day, just for men over 60. Second, give this video a like. Then type the number 1 in the comments, just so I know you're still here with me. And if it's not too much to ask, please share this video to your WhatsApp groups, your senior community, or with your close friends. Post it on Facebook or in any group you're a part of. Because who knows, with just one click, you might be saving a man who lies awake in worry every night, a woman with shaky legs who doesn't know why, or an old friend who's quietly losing hope in life. Your support is a vitamin for my soul. It's fuel for my spirit. And it's the reason I keep creating videos like this for you, for all of us. And now, let's enter the most important part of this video, the part that uncovers the real root behind poor erections, dropping testosterone, and fading confidence. A truth that might make you whisper to yourself, why didn't I know this sooner? The real reason you've been losing it. You know, for the longest time, people have blamed age. They say, oh, that's just what happens when you're older. Or worse, it's all in your head. But the truth, my friend, is far deeper and far more fixable. Let me ask you something. When was the last time your doctor talked to you about your blood vessels, not your testosterone, not your prostate, but the actual highways of life that carry blood to every corner of your body, especially down there? Because here's what most men don't realize: without strong blood flow, your manhood simply doesn't stand a chance. No matter how much desire you still carry in your heart, no matter how much you still want to love and be loved, if your blood vessels are clogged, stiff, or damaged, your body won't respond, not the way it used to. It's not your fault. We've all been eating what we were told was healthy. Low fat, high carb, processed convenience, microwave dinners, sugary drinks, fast food that gave us comfort, but slowly chipped away at our masculinity. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 80% of men over 60 show signs of poor circulation and endothelial dysfunction. That means the lining of their blood vessels no longer opens and closes the way it should. And guess what? The penis is the first place to feel the effects. Why? Because the arteries down there are thinner, more fragile, and more sensitive to damage than anywhere else in the body. Dr. Michael Greger once said, "Erectile dysfunction is often the first sign of clogged arteries. It's not a bedroom problem, it's a blood flow problem. Stress makes it worse. The kind of silent, chronic stress that builds over time from worrying about money, family health, or just watching the years fly by. It floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that restricts blood flow and kills testosterone like a thief in the night. And, of course, there's the aging itself. As we get older, nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to open up, naturally declines. Combine that with bad food stress, lack of sunlight, and not enough movement. And you've got the perfect storm. A storm that steals your power, quietly, slowly, and cruelly. But here's the good news, and I mean really good news. Once you understand this root cause, you're no longer powerless. Because there are natural, simple, and proven ways to restore blood flow, increase testosterone, and get your energy back. You don't need magic pills. You don't need surgery. You just need to know the right tools and how to use them consistently. And in just a moment, I'll show you what those tools are. But before we dive into the first one, let me ask again, my dear friend, if you're still here with me, please hit that like button. Type the number 2 in the comments to let me know you're following along. And if you feel this message could help someone, anyone, share this video. Maybe you'll help a man who hasn't smiled in weeks, or a wife who misses the husband she used to know. Now let's go to the first food that could bring your fire back, something you might have avoided for years, but might just be your secret weapon. Grass-fed beef. Bringing back the man in you. For years you were told to cut back on red meat. It's bad for your heart, they said. Stick to chicken or tofu, they warned. And maybe you listened. Maybe you gave up that sizzling steak, the kind that once made you feel alive, powerful like a man in charge of his world. But what if I told you that by removing red meat from your plate, you may have also been removing the very fuel your body needs to make testosterone? Not all beef is the same. I'm not talking about greasy burgers or ultra-processed sausages. I'm talking about grass-fed beef, the kind that's clean, natural, and raised the way nature intended. Rich in high-quality protein, packed with zinc, B vitamins, iron, and healthy fats. The very building blocks your body uses to produce testosterone. The hormone that fuels your strength, your drive, your mood, and yes, your ability to stand tall again. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that older men who consumed diets rich in zinc and saturated fat from healthy animal sources had significantly higher testosterone levels than those who didn't. Why? Because zinc is essential for testosterone synthesis, and grass-fed beef delivers it in a form your body loves. Dr. Gio Espinosa, a leading expert in men's health at NYU Langone Health, once said, "Testosterone doesn't drop because you age. It drops because your body stops getting what it needs." That hit me hard. And I hope it hits you too. I remember one man, 71 years old, who came to me looking tired, withdrawn, and frustrated. He had given up red meat years ago, thinking he was doing his heart a favor. But his energy dropped. His morning confidence disappeared, and he started to feel like just a shell of the man he once was. We reintroduced grass-fed beef just twice a week, not with heavy sauces or bread. Just simply grilled, lightly seasoned, maybe with a few greens on the side. After 3 weeks, he walked into my office with a glimmer in his eyes. He smiled and said, "Doc, my mornings are back." And I knew it wasn't just about the food. It was about dignity, vitality, hope. Grass-fed beef gives your body the tools to build back testosterone naturally. It also contains heme iron, which helps carry oxygen-rich blood to your muscles, including the most important one in the bedroom. Combine that with its rich protein, and what you get is a recipe for renewed masculinity. Not forced, not artificial, but from within. So my dear friend, don't fear the steak. Embrace it wisely in moderation and with the respect it deserves. It could be the very thing your body's been quietly begging for. And now, before we move on to the next powerful food, may I ask once again, if this message resonates with you, hit that like button. Type 3 in the comments. Share this video with a friend who needs to hear that his manhood is not gone. It's just been waiting for the right kind of fuel. And speaking of fuel, what if I told you that a small green leaf, often ignored at the grocery store, holds the power to open your blood vessels and awaken your strength? Let's talk about it next. Arugula, the leaf that opens your blood vessels and awakens your strength. It doesn't look like much. Just a handful of green leaves tucked in the corner of the produce section. Most men walk past it without a second glance. Maybe you've done the same. But this humble little leaf could be the turning point you didn't know you needed. Its name, arugula. Known in some places as rocket, it's peppery light and slightly bitter. But inside every bite is a hidden warrior, a plant naturally rich in nitrates, not the artificial kind found in processed meat. I'm talking about plant-based nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, the very molecule that tells your blood vessels to open wide and let life flow freely. And where do we need blood to flow most? You already know the answer. Without nitric oxide, your arteries stay tight, your circulation weakens, and your erections become memories. But when nitric oxide levels rise, blood rushes where it's needed, fast, full, firm, and you begin to feel like you again. In a clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers found that men who consumed high nitrate vegetables like arugula spinach and beetroot experienced significantly improved blood flow and even measurable changes in sexual function. It's not magic, it's science, and it works. One of my favorite stories is from a retired Navy veteran, 68 years old. He told me his morning salute had been missing for years. We didn't start with pills or prescriptions. I simply asked him to eat one small bowl of fresh arugula with olive oil and lemon every day. That's it. 2 weeks later, he emailed me with a subject line that just said, "My wife is smiling again." And in the body of the email, just one sentence: "Whatever you told me to eat, it's working." That's the power of blood flow, my friend. Not forced, not synthetic, but your own body coming back online, quietly, powerfully, naturally. And the best part, arugula is easy to prepare. Toss it in a salad, blend it into a smoothie, or even sprinkle it on warm dishes as a fresh topping. There's no excuse not to try it. And if you're serious about restoring your strength, even just adding a little each day could make a big difference. Now, my dear friend, if you're still here with me, it means your heart is open, and I want to thank you for that. Please take a moment to like this video if it's speaking to you. Type 4 in the comments if you're still walking this journey with me, and share it not for me, but for someone who might be sitting alone right now, wondering if they'll ever feel alive again. Because the next food we're about to talk about, it's small, easy to overlook, and often forgotten. But inside this little seed is a powerhouse of minerals, the very things your blood and hormones crave to rise again. Let's talk about pumpkin seeds next. Pumpkin seeds, the tiny powerhouse that fuels blood flow and testosterone. Sometimes the strongest things come in the smallest packages. And when it comes to reclaiming your strength as a man, your energy, your confidence, your fire, few things are more powerful than a simple handful of pumpkin seeds. You might have thrown them away after carving a jack-o'-lantern. Maybe they've been sitting untouched in the back of your pantry for years. But these little green seeds are more than just snacks. They're mineral bombs loaded with magnesium, zinc, selenium, and plant-based proteins that your body desperately needs, especially after 60. Let me explain why this matters. As you age, your arteries, the ones carrying blood to your heart, your brain, and yes, your manhood, become more rigid. Magnesium helps them relax. Zinc helps boost testosterone production. Selenium supports your prostate health. Together, they're like a support team rebuilding the foundation that aging slowly tries to take away. Dr. Andrew Weil, a pioneer in integrative medicine, once said, "Magnesium is the miracle mineral most men are missing." And he's right. Studies show that over 60% of men over 65 are deficient in magnesium, and that can mean weaker blood flow, lower testosterone, and increased stress hormones like cortisol that sabotage your performance from within. I remember a 72-year-old man who came to me, shoulders slumped, eyes tired. He told me, "I just don't feel like myself anymore." We ran his blood work. Magnesium and zinc were in the basement. I didn't hand him a bottle of pills. I handed him a bag of raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds and said, "1 handful a day. No excuses." He started adding them to his oatmeal. Sometimes he'd eat them straight like trail mix. 2 weeks later, he walked back into my office with a quiet smirk and said, "Doc, I think something's waking up." That something wasn't just physical, it was emotional. It was the return of belief in himself, in his body, in the possibility that he hadn't lost it all. It had just gone dormant. Pumpkin seeds are cheap, easy, no side effects, and they give your body exactly what it needs to build better blood flow, stronger hormone balance, and deeper confidence. So my friend, open that pantry. Look for the forgotten bag of seeds, or pick up a fresh pack next time you're out. Start small. Be consistent. Let your body speak for itself. And if this story touches something inside you, please give this video a like. Type 5 in the comments. If you're still here, still listening, still believing that your best days aren't behind you. And please share this message. You might just help a man feel whole again. Now, are you ready for a surprise? Because the next thing that could transform your strength and energy isn't food at all. It comes from the sky. And without it, no amount of steak or seeds will ever be enough. Let's talk about vitamin D3 and why it may be the missing hormone your body's been waiting for. Vitamin D3, the sunshine hormone that awakens your body and your manhood. It doesn't come in a bottle. It doesn't come from a pill, at least not originally. It comes from the sky, from the light that touches your skin, from something we all used to have in abundance. Until we got older, moved indoors, and started living more in shadows than in sunlight. I'm talking about vitamin D3. But calling it a vitamin doesn't do it justice, because what D3 really is a hormone, one that quietly controls more of your body than you ever imagined, including the way blood flows to your heart and to your manhood. You see, D3 isn't just for bones. It's crucial for regulating testosterone, supporting blood vessel function, and reducing inflammation. And here's the shocker, over 80% of men over 60 in North America are deficient. Not mildly low, dangerously low. And most of them don't even know it. When you lack D3, your body struggles to make nitric oxide, the very molecule that opens up your arteries. Your blood vessels stiffen, your hormones decline, your energy drops, and your man switch, it shuts off. Dr. Michael Hollick, a leading vitamin D researcher from Boston University, once said, "Vitamin D is not a luxury, it's a survival necessity." Low D levels are linked to poor testosterone, poor erections, and poor mood. I once worked with a 66-year-old gentleman, healthy diet, good routine, but something was off. He said, "I've been doing everything right. Why do I still feel so disconnected?" His blood test showed D3 levels at rock bottom. We didn't make it complicated, just 20 minutes of sunlight per day or 2,000 IU of high-quality D3 daily when the sun wasn't out. That's it. A month later, he didn't just feel stronger. He felt lighter, clearer, more alive. He told me it's like something clicked back on, and then he smiled and whispered, "My wife noticed too." That's the magic of what's natural. Your body was designed to thrive, not just survive. And sometimes all it takes is giving it back the light it once had. So, if you've been avoiding the sun, it might be time to step outside. Let your skin breathe again. Let your hormones wake up. Let your confidence return not from a prescription, but from a ray of light. And now, my friend, I have one final gift for you. There's one more method, one that isn't food or pill or supplement, but it's something you carry with you every second of your life. Something that, if used the right way, can calm your nerves, open your vessels, and reset your body from the inside out. Let's talk about it next. It's time to breathe, like a man who's ready to rise again. The final method, breathing nerves and the power to rise again. You've heard it said before, just take a deep breath. But no one ever told you that breathing the right way might just help you get your manhood back. Yes, you heard me. I'm not talking about yoga or meditation or chanting in a quiet room, unless that's your thing. I'm talking about a real biological nervous system resetting kind of breathing, the kind of breath that tells your body you're safe, you're strong, you're back. You see, when we live in stress, financial stress, health worries, family responsibilities, loneliness, our body goes into fight or flight mode, and when that happens, blood is sent away from the organs of pleasure, love, and connection. It's diverted to the muscles, to the brain, to survival. Erections, completely turned off. This is no longer theory. A groundbreaking study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine showed that men with chronic stress had a 71% higher risk of erectile dysfunction even when their hormone levels were normal. Why? Because their nervous system was stuck in overdrive. But there's good news. Because your breath, yes, something as simple as breath, can switch your body back to rest and repair. It's like flipping a light switch inside your nervous system. Slow, deep belly breathing in through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and out through the mouth for 6, repeated just 5 minutes a day, can lower cortisol, reduce blood pressure, and most importantly, send more blood flow to your penis. I know a man, 70 years old, former truck driver, tough as nails, never believed in this breathing stuff, but he was desperate. Nothing worked. I told him, just do it in bed. Nobody has to know. So he did. Every night before sleep. He called me a month later and said, I didn't change my diet. I didn't take pills. But something's happening. And I think my wife's starting to notice too. It wasn't magic. It was breath. It was nervous system balance. It was the body remembering what it once knew, how to be alive, how to be a man, how to be present again. And the best part, it's free. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a coach. You just need a quiet room and a few minutes to give yourself permission to breathe again. So my dear friend, if you've tried everything and nothing has worked, maybe the answer isn't more effort. Maybe the answer is more stillness, more listening, more breathing. And now I want to ask one last thing from you. If this part of the video touched something deeper in you, please hit like and comment 6 below. Share this with someone who needs to hear that he is not broken, just waiting to be rebalanced. Because now that we've uncovered the roots, the foods, the sunlight, the minerals, the breath, it's time to bring it all together. Let's move into the final part of our journey, the closing message. Not with charts or advice, but with heart, with grace, and with one truth that every man needs to hear before the screen fades to black. The closing message. So, here we are, you and me, at the end of this quiet conversation between two men who've seen life carried burdens and maybe lost a piece of themselves along the way. But my friend, let me say this with all the honesty I have. You are not broken. Your body still remembers. Your heart still hopes. And your manhood. It's not gone. It's just been waiting for the right time, the right tools, the right breath to rise again. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be who you were at 30. You just need to take one small step today. A plate of food, a walk in the sun, a handful of seeds, a quiet breath before bed. And if you felt something today, even just a flicker of possibility, please like this video, comment what spoke to you, and share it with someone you love. Because sometimes all it takes is one voice to help another man remember who he truly is. This is your second golden era, and the best chapter of your life might still be waiting.